Ash's new passive is even more powerful than we thought. In this video I cover all the new tricks and techniques we learned since she was released. I highly recommend you watch my previous video on Ash first, since it covers all the basics and pro tips we knew up until this point. I tested the dash of the gravity cannons, and let's just say, it works exactly like we all hoped it would. You need horizontal velocity to dash. You won't dash if you go straight up or down, so it can be worth it to get into the habit of just always holding a directional input. The dash momentum is multiplicative with vertical velocity. What does that mean? The faster you go upwards, the higher the dash will send you. It's not just a flat addition, it multiplies with existing vertical momentum. That's why it sends you so much higher if you dash the exact moment after a jump, compared to when you dash a bit later after the jump, or why it stacks so well with a super jump or wall bounce. Little side tip, after I saw a video from Tuna on it, you can use that to wall bounce up into the air and then ult, so enemies can't follow you unless they have a movement ability to get to that portal. When going down, it is capped to always send you horizontal, so no matter how fast you're falling downward, you can always count on it sending you horizontal. Ash now sits on the homepage of the Apex Movement Wiki, and everything I'm gonna mention in this video has been included into her tech page entry. In general, if you hear a term or mechanic that you don't understand or want to enhance your movement knowledge in any way, the Apex Movement Wiki has the answer. Leave us a tip if you enjoy what we did here. Visit it on apexmovement.tech. Dash doesn't just store jump fatigue and lurch, it activates them as well. So even if you walked off an edge without a jump, you will have jump fatigue after the dash. This makes it more predictable for how you can jump fatigue wall bounce after a dash, or cannot do a normal wall bounce right after. And that it activates lurch means you can tap strafe out of the dash, even if you didn't jump to get into the air, or hadn't even touched ground previously. This lets you tap strafe off zip lines, or when using dash mid-air after a long fall. Speaking of a long fall, for some reason you can dash after a skydive during the transition from third into first person, before you have actually touched the ground. Valkyrie, for example, cannot do that. Yet another instance where the increased sensitivity of the Ash dash seemingly leads to some unique interactions. I learned about that from Sepata96. I noticed that Ash can use her dash while out of bounds. Valkyrie cannot use her jetpack, and Lifeline cannot use her glide while out of bounds, which are also passives. As far as I can tell, Ash is now the only legend that can use a movement ability while out of bounds. I suspect that this was just overlooked and will get patched. Ash can trim with her dash. Dash can enhance a jump pad and even carries that through the double jump. Mr. Toxic messaged me on Twitter that they accidentally found this interaction. So I investigated it, and here's what I figured out. After taking a jump pad, there is a brief delay before you can double jump. But because the dash is so sensitive and can activate much sooner after leaving the ground than Valkyrie's or Lifeline's passive, you can dash during that short window between taking the jump pad and the double jump becoming available. So take the pad and dash right after having taken it. This throws you higher and further than a regular jump pad arc, letting you clear obstacles and take routes you otherwise can't. This is also better than dashing after the double jump, but of course won't allow you a third direction change. So use a dash to enhance the jump pad, or keep it to use it after the double jump, depending on the situation. I'm curious to see what will become available when they give us a separate dash bind that's not on jump.